Hi, my name is Lindsay DeBolton, and I had decided to do my art final on the one and only Judy Chicago. She was born on July 20th, 1939, in Chicago, Illinois. As she grew up, she loved creating art, so she attended the University of California, where she earned both her bachelor's and master's in art. Later on, her husband would suddenly have died, and she decided to change her name, not only to be independent, but also in her line of work. She didn't want to be connected to any man. Judy would then go on to found the first feminist art program to help teach others about how women have contributed to the history of art. In 2018, she would become recognized as one of Time's most influential people. As of today, she has received a lifetime of honors for all of her work in the art world and her views and getting women to where they are today because of her views and her talents. This first piece of art that I have really learned to love by Judy Chicago was made between 1971 and 1972. She created the Woman House alongside Paula Harper and others who supported the feminist art program. This house was created as a safe space for artists to work that may have not been respected due to their gender or sexuality. This house serves as a stop and think to whether we should still follow traditional gender roles and to also recognize people that have been overshadowed in the past and their experiences and how they have impacted our world. This is a abandoned house that they fixed up so they used common construction tools to rebuild alongside the sculptures that the artists have made and performance art that other artists have made. The next piece I really liked by Judy was The Dinner Party, which was created between 1974 and 1979 to honor women throughout history for their accomplishments and to encourage others to advocate not only for women but for equality. This piece of art serves as a reminder that women belong in history, equality matters, and we need to value women's work. Some of the main materials used were ceramic, porcelain, textile, and a triangular table. There were 39 different place settings along with 999 other names listed, and this does not even scratch the surface. This piece, to me, is very, very important because this is the basis, I feel like, for what can set women up for the future, not only in the art world, but for all of history. The next project is called the Birth Project, which was created between 1980 and 1985. This project made by Judy was made because she noticed there was a big gap of missing Western art, and this entire gap had one thing in common. It was the journey of a woman's pregnancy. This project was made to recognize every single milestone of childbirth and to explain the strength, power, and creativity women have in our world. The materials made to make this project consisted of screen paints, needlework, and textiles. This piece that you see on the screen is only one of many, many different types of pieces made for this project to show all the different aspects of a pregnancy in a woman's life. This next project is the same as the last one, where the picture you see on the screen is the main picture of the entire project, but there were different other pieces of art made but this was kind of like the main logo of the project. This project took about 8 years, and Judy created this project because she was not only inspired by her Jewish heritage, but she also wanted to show to future generations what a world can look like when it is full of hate and intolerance, but also to remember and honor all of the victims and remember what roles women played during the Holocaust. Because a lot of the time, when we learn about the Holocaust in schools, they don't really teach you specifically about what the women did. They really just teach you about like what was all done from the male perspective. This project is to remind everyone that if you choose compassion and tolerance over hate and intolerance, it can cause more peace than death and massacres. Some of the materials used were acrylic paints, photography, and a hand-woven Aubergine tapestry and stained glass. Lastly, my final piece that Judy had created is a quilt that only took her several months, called What If Women Ruled the World? This quilt was made to encourage people to share their thoughts and opinions about how our world would look if women ruled the world. All the responses on here were taken from multiple different people from multiple different countries throughout our world, and they just had to answer the question, what would our world look like if women ruled it? This was made not only to challenge but also to encourage people to ask how we can fill our world up with equality. This quilt was made by reusing traditional fabrics and quilting materials. For this art final, I could have picked anybody, but I picked Judy Chicago. Why? Well, when we were first learning about her, we were learning about the dinner party, as I was explaining earlier on in this presentation. The dinner party really drew me in and made me ask so many questions because when you think about art, I feel like women aren't really like shared and aren't really like the main frontliners. Like when you think of art, you normally think of like people like Leonardo da Vinci, Picasso, and other male dominant art figures throughout history. Judy, however, she did not want that. She wanted people to value women, to value equality, and to make a world better and safer for everybody. She would later on go to marry two other people. And even though she is still currently married as of today, she still has not let her marriage get rid of her values that women are strong, capable individuals, that when we stand together, we can achieve anything we set our hearts to. Each and every single piece of art Judy has created had a message that shared that when we team up, when we don't give up, regardless of how long it can take to do something or make something, we can always achieve it when we set our mind to something. Judy is an inspiration to me, and I have no idea why it had taken me so long to know her name. And I am very upset about that, that in past history courses and art courses I have taken in the past, I have not learned more about the women aspects of art. This is something I look forward to researching and learning more about in my studies at this school. One of the things I have noticed as I was gathering all my resources is our book never really provided too much besides the dinner party, of what I needed to complete this project. I wonder if later on in future courses, if we would want to find other books that express more of the women's side of the history of art. One last thing before I go. Judy Chicago has her own website. This was very, very inspiring and very easy to navigate and to use. And I am very, very happy that I have gotten to choose Judy Chicago on my project final. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day. And also, happy belated birthday to Judy as she just celebrated her 87th birthday.